Thanks, Jacob. It's Motivational Monday with Dr. Binks. As always, it's a pleasure to have you today.
Hi, Branchavia.
Happy to have you, and always good topics. Today's topic is about being a role model. So when it comes to being a role model, what would you describe as a good role model?
You know, I've been thinking about that definition, and there are all kinds of them out there. My personal one is that somebody that, by being who they are, inspires others.
Inspires others. And I want to ask you something too. When it comes to being a role model, do you think people can have different categories of role models for their lives?
Oh, absolutely. I do think that we have role models within our family who maybe we aspire to be more like them in multiple areas of their lives, not just in terms of their role in the family, and co-workers and people that you see in all parts of your life.
Yeah, and so what kind of characteristics would a role model display or have or present?
Well, as I tried to reflect in my definition, and a really important part to me is to be yourself. I think oftentimes when people feel like they try to be a role model, those are the people that aren't very good at it. So if you just try to be the best version of yourself in whatever area that somebody might see you as a role model, you'll always present something that they can relate to. And if they need something else, then you're not the right fit for them.
And you talk about presenting something that people can relate to. When it comes to being a role model, it's not just for children, but adults can have role models as well, correct?
Absolutely, and I think a really important thing to remember is people connect to genuineness. And if you're an authentic version of you, you're willing to show your strengths, your less than strengths, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, that's how you're going to connect with somebody that might see themselves in you.
And you talk about being authentic. That's definitely a good key if you have somebody that you want to look up to. But in your own personal life, you don't have to say who the role model is, but tell me why they're a role model for you based on characteristics or character.
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, obviously my father and mother are just wonderful role models, and in multiple ways, not just in terms of my own my own family aspirations, but in terms of who they were in their other worlds, as I mentioned. But professionally, I've had several great mentors over the years, and people that were in that position to guide me, and I think those fall in a strong category for me too.
That's great. Well, I have some great role models that have some great characteristics as well, and I think everybody should have one. They're very important for our lives. But thank you so much again, Dr. Binks, for being here.
My pleasure.
And sharing this important topic. The information is on the screen.